Hey, everybody, welcome to TPIMSR Live. I am your host, True Power is Mine. And today, folks, we are so fortunate. We have a special guest on the line. Literally just called me right now. Mr. Spencer is the curator of the African American Aviation Museum. I'm going to hold on. I'm trying to do multiple things at one time. Chauncey is still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. So, sir, could you please tell us about the museum and maybe some of the exhibit it's offering?
Sure. So the title is African American in Aviation Travel Museum, and we're traveling across the country promoting the project. Project is teach across the country of inclusion of African Americans involvement in aviation. The virus, I'm out of the box. They can't come to school. We'll bring the school to them.
So I got it. They can't come to school, so you're bringing the school to them. I love this. So we're trying to inspire young people to pick up aviation and show them quite literally the sky is the limit.
Absolutely.
That's what I love. So how much I mean, for those who never heard, about Black aviators, but could you give us a brief history, like a brief history lesson on Black men and women, and perhaps even children in aviation?
Sure. So we know about the Tuskegee Airmen. They've been well publicized, but there's a show Tuskegee Airmen stand on, and I felt that they had a lack of voice. I decided that I would be their voice. So we'll talk about people like Eugene Bullock, who fought World War I and France, so making him the first African American fighter pilot in 1917. We'll talk about people like Bessie Coleman, who had to go to France and receive her pilot license in 1921. And then we'll continue on to Herman Julian, who Trinidad, who went to Ethiopia to teach Ethiopians how to fly when Mussolini had threatened Haile Selassie to take over his country. And we'll talk about John C. Robinson, who came to Port Mississippi, who ended up going to Ethiopia and trained Ethiopians after they had back on how to fly. And we'll continue on. I don't know how long you pick up this, but I can name all of them all the way up to the Tuskegee Airmen.
Wow. I'm going, you know what? I'm going to pull up the Facebook because for some reason your phone was cutting in and out. I don't know what's going on.
Stop coming back up. Right?
Oh, I got you. So we got him on a cell phone.
Yeah, I'm in Pittsburgh.
I'm really interested in the conflict of Ethiopia. A lot of people don't understand the geopolitical situation at the time, that the emperor of Ethiopia was actually facing, with Mussolini wanting to basically resurrect, if I'm not correct, the ancient Roman Empire.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, it's a matter of technology. If we do not embrace technologies, there are these people, and I'm saying this purely in a military sense of the matter. There are these people that basically seek to harm you. I mean, let's face it, Mussolini was not around when ancient Rome was kicking off, but yet as soon as he had the opportunity with his fascist cohorts, he waged war, and a very brutal war, on the continent of Africa. If I'm correct.
Yes.
Oh. Hold on. Everybody's trying to call me right now. So
okay.
When do the children that participate in these programs, are there any fast track programs that would help a child maybe go to the Air Force Academy as a pilot?
Well, that's one way. Also, there's a lot there that offer private where you don't have to participate in the military. The Tuskegee Airmen Scholarship Found scholarship offering students just want to get into aviation. We have to say that aviation has skills other than being a pilot, and all well-paid jobs.
Mm. So, even though, like a lot of people have a bad opinion about the military, for whatever reason, it has been a avenue that many Black folks have found their calling, especially as pilots. You have to admit the military trained a lot of Black men and women, for combat roles or even support roles. What do you think, if you was talking to a young person, which branch would you encourage them to go if they wanted to pursue flight?
I try to let the students live out their dreams. So there's many branches that you can involve yourself in aviation, like the Navy, the Air Force, the Army, Coast Guard. Every branch has an aviation branch.
But the preservation process, the exhibits, is there any way that, let's say that a person had a heirloom, maybe their father or grandfather passed away, no one wants this heirloom, is there any way they can donate these aviation artifacts to your museum?
Yes, they can. My more on the educational learning of the history of the involvement of African American aviation. You have to remember, William Powell wrote the original book on Black wings, and in the 1930s he wrote that book because he knew the technology was brand new, and if African Americans didn't get involved at the ground floor, they would be left out.
Yes, every time, and we're talking about, don't forget, if you was a man, let's say in the 1940s, and you was fortunate enough to get into aviation program, whether you saw combat, doesn't matter. But after you got out of that program, you could have went to the major airlines as a pilot. And then, for those who don't know, commercial pilots make a tremendous living, but they're very, dedicated people. You have to dedicate your life to this. There's no foolishness. You have to get into the books. You have to learn mathematics. You have to learn theory. You have to learn. It's definitely going to be a learning. Everybody's calling me right now. I don't understand why. It's definitely going to be a learning process.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that all too often, especially in our community, a lot of times we look down on the intelligent people. We're, oh, you just want to be a nerd, be cool, hang out with us. All that foolishness has to stop. Like literally, the sky is the limits as long as you limit who you're around.
Absolutely.
And we really need to start the foundation, because that's what this show, it targets the younger folks, the folks who still have a future and have opportunity. And opportunity is a situation that you prepare for, to seize the moment. And I'm telling you, young folks, you got a website.
I do. My website is tes-ii.com, and you can get the rationale of my program. There's also a page there where you can come for presentations or speaking engagements. There's a history of things I've done. There's videos on this. I created the first national STEM program for the Tuskegee Airmen Incorporated in 2014 and took 30 students to Hampton University, where the majority of the instructors were trained because they went down to Mexico.
When you first opened your museum, when you first came with the concept of starting this up, did you have any naysayers, or were you fortunate enough to be surrounded by supportive people who saw your vision?
No, it was an uphill battle. It took 16 years. This actually developed in the last 6 months. I got demonstrations in order to purchase the truck. I have a 1937 Pierce Aero trailer, which they only made 800. There's only 25 still alive on the street. And so I played with the era of 1937 in aviation and Black involvement in the 1930s.
See, this is I jumped on your Facebook page. I want to show people. I like this, the image of the 3 Tuskegee Airmen. And don't forget, this is back in the day. I love history. I love what this truly represents. These men were able to really provide for a family. And I think the issue that we talk about, or we don't talk about on a social level, is this economic issue. It's young men falling in love with young women and doing what young people do, and catching themselves in a trick bag to where they have these children and they don't have an economic outlet. They don't have the foundation for building a true family.
Right.
And I think this begins with the thought processes that we have to learn this one phrase, folks: delayed gratification. The longer you delay the gratification that you're seeking, whatever it may be, what trivial matters consume you, the longer you delay it and prepare for it, the better gratification you'll have in the end. So in other words, when you're at the prom, do the responsible thing. Go out, drink the punch, dance a little, dance a lot, have a great time, but bring that young girl home the way you picked her up.
Right.
And I'm telling you, young man, you'll be better for it. Now, she throws herself on you, things happen, and you're going to have to basically take care of business at that point. But this is what I hope that today's show reach the ears of those who need to hear it, so that they don't make these mistakes. They don't try to dumb themselves down just to fit in. The sky is the limit. Remember that, y'all. The sky is the limit as long as you apply yourself. Here is living proof right here on the phone. This gentleman, this brother.
If I can add that, you can live for the, or you can have a thrilling life. So if you want to live for the moment, that's that. But if you want to live a thrilling life, you have to have a plan, and you have to stick to that plan. And most things to be accomplished, to have a struggle to it, they have a larger reward at the end.
Yes. And forget all this nonsense you hear. The latest glitter bug they got on TV. Oh, you do this and blah. Forget all that jazz. I'm telling you, as God is my witness, the only thing that works is what has worked. And that is a man and woman with the foundation of whatever religion that makes you moral, but you have to behave morally. You have to behave ethically. You have to have dignity. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because think about it. Would you really want some Yahoo jackrabbit flying the airplane, or guiding your ship, or writing your business plan?
Yeah.
Exactly. And as long as people keep on playing these games, they keep on being spoon-fed these cookie cutter ideal of success, which when we analyze their situation, we see that there's a lot of hypocrisy involved, unfortunately. And that's why I know I'm kind of veering off a little bit, but it should come back too. But that's why it's so important to always speak the truth, or at least what you sincerely believe is truthful. You can never be debated.
Well, if I can add here on the right subject, my gift to what I do out here is character building. Without character building, discipline, there's not anything possible, because you have no control.
Yes. And that's that's the root that I'm talking about. It's the character. You see, if we had a better character as individuals, and then as I guess a larger group, a lot of this stereotypic nonsense, a lot of this buffoonery wouldn't be pinned on us. If we had to be known as ethical, upright people because we handle our business and we manage our affairs because we actually have the leisure time to prepare for plans. We're not constantly in survival mode. And that's what I hear when I talk to folks on the street. They're constantly in survival mode. So therefore, they never really have time to metaphorically sit back and smell the roses. So what is a strategy you think a young person can deploy if they find themselves, let's say that they are indeed in a broken family or a broken family structure? Is there no hope for these children, or are there some sort of strategies you think they can employ on a personal level to succeed?
I think there's always a possibility. Hope is always alive. I think the glass is always so optimistically. I think for young people, older people, and any people, that you have to have some confidence. And once you have that confidence, that creates a stronger character.
Yes. Yes, you have to have the foundation. You have to basically fix the broken wheel if you want the wagon to roll straight. And we're not,
Correct.
we're on a broken wagon, y'all. I mean, if you guys don't know it by now, we're on a broken wagon. And I'm glad that, there's people out here trying to preserve history. I'm glad that there's people out here actually trying to do character building on the ground floor. It'll be great. Um, Speaking of which, is there any way people can send you some funds?
Yes, you can do. I'm gonna get the. I'll get the web. It's a weird sponsor, and I'm powered National Resources Foundation, and get the information for you. Or you can go right to get the.
Okay, hold on. Trying to get to
Trying to get the website. But if they go under the National College website, so it's the National College Resources website, and that there's a donate page there, and you can donate to African Americans in Aviation Traveling Museum.
gotcha.
I don't have the web. Sorry, it's actually in my truck. But I want to say this when I have the phone. I have a man traveling with me from Long. Yeah. He's 22 years old, and he graduated from LaFern University with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. And he's traveling America, for being in some of these states outside of. He went to Memphis University. He went to Central State of Ohio. He finished up in LaFern. And so I'm taking him to places like we're going to Washington tomorrow to the March on Washington. And so it's an experience. And now he told me, he said, Chauncey, he said, is there I can get a private pilot license? I said, so now he's moving in aviation. And then once with the forest thing from, we have to think young African American males have to talk about aviation. It's not as normal.
Right. While you're still on the phone, I do want to invite you back because your phone is chopping up, and I recognize that you're actually traveling. I know that, and I know this was totally off the cuff, folks. This was not planned nor scripted. This is total real time. But I would sincerely want to have you back on again whenever you have the time, because we're like a 24-hour.
If I can't, I have to be in Lynchburg. If I can get on the landline there, so I'll be in Lynchburg after I leave work on the 29th. So I have your number. If you like, I can call you. We can make a ring where we can get a clear contact and people hear what I'm saying.
Yes, that would be perfect.
Why don't we do that? I have more to share after I witnessed March in Washington, and I think it'll be more informative at that time.
All right. I appreciate it. That would be great.
Fine. And thank you for inviting me. I just have to look at my phone. And I'm trying to get recognition out there, pick up some attention, hopefully with the national network. I can get on the Today Show, Good Morning America, something like that, because what I'm doing needs to be publicized in a larger audience.
Yes.
And if you can help me do that, I have NBC that gave me the launching Palm Desert. So I live in Palm Desert, California. And so NBC did the exclusive. It was a local NBC in Palm Springs. And I've been covered by CBS, NBC, and local channels in St. Louis, in Dayton, Ohio. And now here, I'm on television here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, this is what, yes, I will reach out to some people that I know. And
okay.
And yes, let's use the network to strengthen each other.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I appreciate
So
it.
I can text you my phone number. I'll text you my phone number when I get off the line, and then you give me a call and let me know what time to fuck you on the air on Saturday, and then I can get on the landline. We can have a communication.
That's perfect. Perfect. Yes, I can do that.
Okay, let's do it then.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye. All right, folks. Chauncey Spencer. Yes, the brother has a dream and is doing it. Let's switch gears. I called Dr. Short. So let's pull up. Now, the phone line here, I don't know if I should maybe restart the computer. Maybe I should. I think I need to restart the computer if the phone line's on. Once I restart it, then it should function a little better. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to restart. Kind of clear up the computer. Hopefully the sound will be a little bit better. That's not even the... I know that was loud. A lot of you guys probably haven't heard that one for years. That was the sound of a Windows XP machine turning off. Okay. This is the one. We'll get this up here. We'll call Doctor. And yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I've just been I've been low energy for a little while. Normally I'm all screaming at the top of my lungs, talking about this society or that society, this, conspiracy, that conspiracy. Wow, that's but I'm not into all that garbage now. Now all I want to do is bring on my guests, give you guys good information. Now, hopefully the audio should be a lot better. I did just recently talk to the good doctor. So we just rebooted the machine over here, the phone machine. That's all this is. I mean, quite literally, that's all I'm using it for is a phone. It's like a big overgrown phone. All right. Ooh, that's loud. Oh, it might not. Hello. Hello, doctor. You there?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, speaking of white, you got any comment on Falwell Jr.?
Evangelicals have more fun. I don't know.
No, I actually received a letter last week, a really touching letter, actually, from our email from one of his, I guess, past followers after all the shenanigans came out. And, I try to reinforce, at least in their mind, that whether he was, as a person, a hypocrite, you got to stand on what was he saying. Is it still true or is it not? So, I guess that's where that should be left at. But it's kind of...
This is what I'll say of his father, their empire that they built, the religious empire, built on ignoring
the rights of Black people and others, ignoring it, missing really the first and second commandment, like love God with your whole heart, soul, and mind. And then the second is love neighbor itself. Well, Lynchburg, how are people treated at that school? How are Black people treated in Virginia? Okay, let's not do the whole country. Let's just do where they are in Central Virginia. Are they treated well? Is there fairness and justice? Do people, right?
Right.
Were they against apartheid in South Africa? You know they weren't. Were they for civil rights for Black people? No. What kind of God? What kind of God? It's not the one I believe in. The God I believe in wants justice for white people in Northern Ireland, West Virginia, coal miners. It's not just for me. It's for everybody. That's the God I believe in. Why we can't have the same God? And this is the thing that I hate about a lot of disgusting Black people, is we keep trying to rationalize people who serve a God that seems to be full of hatred and contempt for 9/10 of humanity and only loves 10%. It's not biblical. We can go on and on about pretending that the original Hebrews are these people from Central Asia instead of people from Northeast Africa. they get so many things that aren't based in the Bible. So am I surprised? No. The thing is, even his wife, what allowed it to go was that it wasn't the Black dude. That he couldn't handle the Black dude hitting his wife up. But a Hispanic, almost a Black, that would have been too much for a Black guy to be getting his wife's boots. So what I see here is people, like I've seen as a preacher's kid, a lot of times there's no such thing as genetic, what's that word? Apostolic succession.
Right.
Maybe Jerry Falwell was very committed to God, at least in his own way. But it doesn't mean that he can hand it off like the family store to mom and pop store to his kids. Maybe their relationship to God is very different from his.
Exactly.
And you would think that the son doesn't even have a pot belly and doesn't look like, a Las Vegas Strip comedian, as Jerry Falwell looked kind of comical. This guy halfway looks presentable. I mean, dude should have gotten a divorce and moved on.
But he was a cuck, doctor. The guy was a cuck. He would rather sit in the corner masturbating while old girls getting tore up. That was his
but the thing is there's more to it than that. If I'm interested in looking at your thing, that's kind of interesting there. Okay. It's kind of interesting. I want to see a dude do it to my wife. I'm enjoying it. Well, let's just be honest, psychologically, you're enjoying seeing a man do it. You're enjoying his sex as well as hers.
Wow.
It's not separate, because if you just got off, did you just have her touch herself in front of you? You need another dude there to take it to where it wants to go. The question is, can you see his booty as he's hitting you? And are you looking at that? I don't know. I don't get taste and everything. I don't know. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. But surely 8 years and he's around. I mean, and he starts off when he's 20. And the other thing about Becky that's very interesting to me, she has jet black hair. If it's not dyed, is Becky some kind of melungeon, or and he probably can't keep her happy that he's got a yes, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there.
Sausage.
Do you have not this Vienna sausage, but do you have one of these Creole type hot-blooded passing for white mixed breed type person that needs basically good times JJ and James type sex all you could do is give her the Waltons. And she, I didn't say this is so, I'm just thinking, look, is this some hot-blooded half-breed type or mixed breed type person that's really downstairs wants to have a Shaka Zulu type steakum, and you got a Vienna sausage at this board, and so okay, I know I have to be white. I can't. I'm gonna go to the far end of whiteness to get as close to black cock as I can get, so I won't get into trouble. This is old. This is very, very old of white women getting Arabs and Latins because black's forbidden. That's the one. You can't really get what you want. It's the same thing with Kamala's father and mother. Family got tired. You know, when are you going to get tired? Our money's good too. In the words of one Pakistani woman to her daughter, black sex doesn't last forever. In other words, we know that you're really getting it. He's really tearing it up for you. And we're really disappointed in you. Or actually, the mother says, I empathize with your needs being met. In other words, I wish I was getting screwed like that. But I have to represent the family name, meaning I have to forswear getting good sex, get my cooch poked like it needs to be. You need to think about our money and forget about the black guy. Maybe one of your cousins can at least get into the ballpark of pleasing you. And so she left him, and she's not going to remarry. But so this is what happens when people aren't able to be themselves. Come on, jet black hair, unless she's dyed that, normally those people are part Indian or black, whatever. And that's what I'm trying to say. Dude was getting himself a sexy, Melanchon type female, and he wasn't able to handle it. If he had gotten himself a standard, rundown, Barbara Bush looking type broad.
Just a regular standard Karen.
No, there's nothing standard about Barbara Bush. I leave her home with the kids too. Okay. I mean, that's, in fact, keep them pregnant so you don't have to spend a lot of time with, oh, honey, the baby's crying. Oh, honey, the baby's crying every time she try to get you. The baby's crying, right?
Right.
Yes, I'm going there. So that's my sense of this, is that people get bored in marriages and relationships. But I'll tell you something. These people have made
millions.
Religion a business. We should have been taking care of home. And if anything, man, he could afford Cialis and Viagra. They even go out to little African countries and give one of those little witch doctors to touch him or give him some potions. He should have been able to represent in bed. It says to men in the Bible, love your wife like God loves the church.
Yeah, he don't share the church with nobody. He don't let some other group come in and fuck the church while he watch.
Yeah, break it off in her as much as she needs it. And apparently, if you heard the story, I heard a piece of it. He was out on a cruise ship or something, or someplace, resort or cruise ship or something. No, resort. And he was trying to come on to these young women.
He got to go for the small.
And the wife got mad and said, you know, they don't know what they're doing. In other words, they can't screw you half good. Why are you talking to them? So I guess she got mad and said, you know what, he talks young people. I'm going to get me some young stuff too, but mine's going to be good. Of course. And I'm going to pick a person, a color. I mean, I can't have a black person. No, that would just be too. In fact, I might leave him for a black dude. So let me get something that almost gets me, but not something so good that I'll get up and walk out for it. You know, do a Meghan Markle where, you know, you see how that stuff made that dude walk out in the family. Right. Dude just left. Bye, Mom. Bye, Grandma. That stuff is so good. I can't. Sorry. Yeah, the crown. No, it's on the desk. It's in my room. Yeah. See y'all. I'll try not to think about you when I'm coming. Bye. right? See how Meghan Markle's, I mean, that dude is gone. He's not even trying. I mean, you know, you can keep your security guard. I got all the security I need downstairs, right? There's nothing there, man. They needed some marriage counseling. What's interesting about this whole thing for Falwell was that these so-called holy, wholesome white families have just as many problems as anybody else's families do.
Oh, absolutely.
But you know what? You can get a lot of black folks to give money to some of the most racist pastors in the country. They wouldn't dare give any money to anybody black legitimate trying to do something. It's so interesting. So their families are not as wholesome as you think. And, you know, they're back in slavery. The master that helped build all the churches was raping all the women down the slave quarters. And they'd get up and sing, you know, how great thou art.
How sweet thou art.
Yeah, and he's singing to his thing in his pants that has popsicle stick to hold it up. You know, that's what you have. So nothing would surprise me. Tim and Tammy Faye Baker, it's the same thing. He was bored and he's screwing what Jessica Hahn, or at least he tried to, and she said he wasn't that good. A lot of these people, I mean, they're into this religion that is about money and power. It isn't about the saving of souls.
No, it should be about saving
people
souls.
About Christ, who Jesus is, loving your neighbor, standing up for the poor. These are things they don't do, by the way. So in this, what we could call Anglo-American, you know, churchianity, where they go to church and they read the Bible and then you kill people all over the world that don't look like you. That it says you can tell a tree by its fruit.
Yes, you can.
That's what the Bible says. Now, I mean, I could see once your wife cheated, once you watched, but you mean y'all did it 8 years, then you're trying to buy people and cover your sins. You didn't, you know, it's interesting. And let me go back and tell you something. Because I'm glad I brought up Tammy Faye Baker and all this stuff. You know, when the people at PTL willing to admit they had problems in their marriage and stuff, Jerry Falwell destroyed the ministry of Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. They tried to take it.
Yep.
When they went in and said, hey, look, we have a problem. You know, we messed up, but we still love people. There was some genuineness to them. There was some. Jerry Falwell and them destroyed the ministry of Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. I mean, sure they did. They were jealous. They destroyed them. And they dragged the man all through the mud. There was only one affair, and it only happened maybe a couple of months. I'm not defending it. I'm saying it's all wrong. They went and tried to get help. This is the other thing, is that a lot of times you can't tell anybody you have a problem. You're supposed to be able to I should be able to talk to you about a problem I have, or vice versa, and it not be blasted on CNN or CBS or whatever that very same night, which is what Jerry Falwell did to the Bakers. He really destroyed them. And by the way, in all the years that followed, how the Bakers went through stuff, they never ever said, we're sorry, we were wrong. He went to his grave like, I got them. So in reality, you see a heartless, soulless Anglo-American churchianity, the same kind that tolerates slavery and police murders and slayings and organ harvesting. There's no kind of evil that ain't not something they need to talk about. Dude's 100% behind Trump in all things, and there are a lot of things you don't have to agree with Trump on. In fact, disagree. But that's what you see. So there's no real God there. It's never been there. It's what you do for the least of them, you've done for me. Well, what have they done for these subhuman black? Who are the least of them? Nothing. If you're doing nothing for God, right? It says faith without works is dead. Well, if you're doing nothing and you have a dead faith, you don't know who God is. And this is a conversation I have with people, Brother Patrick, that The people in the abolition time, one of the reasons they had powers, they used to tell people, you guys are all going to hell. You're all phonies. You're not following what's in the book. I don't like you. You're evil. God hates you. Blah, 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 blah. That's the conversation of the abolitionists, in particular the black ones. Do you see any black church people now blasting?
Nope.
Or calling off on or calling these white churches out as phonies, as liars, as hypocrites, as rapists, as racist? No.
No.
Because they wouldn't hang with them. They want to be on their network. And, it's like Fred Price. His son was trying to get some cooch from one of the, I think from Kenneth Copeland had a niece or a friend or someone. And they said, you know what? We don't care how big your ministry is. We don't care how much you love God. We don't care how much you give. He can't stick his black sausage in this white girl. We don't even care if it's marriage. We don't even care if they want each other. They can't have each other, says us.
Right.
I mean, even if she started, even if he was minding his business and she says, hey, look, you dark stud, I'm going to screw you. It's still you guys' fault. You keep him away from her or we're not going to like you. And when Fred Price says, but he's a good guy, nigger. I said no sausage in the grits. You got it. Got it. And let me help you get it. You're off of our network. Think about it then, nigger. Nobody will be listening to you now. You got a big church, you'll make it. Fry more chicken, right? Have more pies. Make more pies. And that's when Fred Price started talking about racism only after he got burned. Not when people are having the riots in Los Angeles. Not when the stuff is really going on, right? Where black people are suffering and getting killed by Chief Gates's cops.
Right. Silence.
So these despicable coon preacher types, I don't like them. I was at a meeting the other day and people called me Reverend. and I told them, I'd like to be called Doctor.
Yes.
Because at least that might have some. These reverends, they don't do anything for us, man.
Well, it's a nice title.
Kind of a fraud. They should say revert instead of reverend. So no, just call me Doc. I prefer that. Now, if folks think I'm a reverend, if they see me doing what's right, if they see me helping people or whatever, okay, that's God gets the glory out of that. It has nothing to do with me, right?
Right.
And I'm not going to argue with people if they put it up reverend everywhere. We see them doing righteousness, so we say, fine. But I ain't saying. I said doctor. That's a legitimate title I can have. If other people want to make me, they see God working, okay. I'm glad. Wow. God's working because, I need help and so do you. We all got stuff jacked up about it. But isn't that cool when you don't have so much crap on you, even though you're made of flesh, you got feet of clay, but you're not so jacked up until people say, I see God using you to do stuff. That's actually a compliment to God. Because it's like, wow, you think I'm a godly person? Well, thanks. Thanks, God. Right?
Right.
But I look at all these people. How in God's name did they not say, hey, President, keep it at $600 for these people, man? Let them have stuff, man. I mean, they're the ones spying on, what? Because, I know I was using that worker welfare. Man, I did everything except my wedding cake, and I'm single. I mean, it's like, thank you. Keep that worker welfare coming. Okay. double up on that. Send me some. For a lot of people out here that are like waiting for the economy to start back. Where are these people for blunt, man? Where are these people when folks are missing? An earthquake hit someplace that, they send the people pixie sticks and shit. Like, come on. It's ass country. We can't do better than that. We can't fix up New Orleans. We can't fix up Camden or Gary or East St. Louis. We can't have a high-speed rail. We can't. I mean, it seems like for the white supremacists, there's so much shit you can't do. Only thing you seem to can't be able to do is hate and kill black people.
Well, that's just tough because that's been so ingrained traditionally in this country.
Well, but let's go get uningrained if other people start walking around with AR-15. Who
like that
get some really
17-year-old white boy? Like that 17-year-old white boy that shot up 3 people?
Well, they were all white. So, I mean, I don't have a dog in that fight. But what I would say is this. 2 of them, one of them as a sex offender. So a sex offender getting shot is really, for me, like, I love the Lord, he heard my cry. Right? When I hear pedophiles will get shot, I'm like, okay, cool. So one was a pedophile or some kind of sex offender, he got shot. That's kind of cool. I mean, that's one less child that had the little booty, looking like he's been in Chipotle for a week. So, when that red sauce comes out you behind, you draw it. So that's the thing, I'm just saying. So so 2 of the white gentlemen that were shot were criminals, and they were shot by a white male. And they arrested 24 other people. So you have a lot of white gangsters, thugs, ne'er-do-wells going into black areas doing stuff. So, as long as they didn't shoot Breonna Taylor's sister, mama, or her boyfriend's brother, right now, as much as I don't want people shooting in the streets, it was white-on-white violence. Maybe just the kind that I was going to be cold, but I'm not going to say just the kind we like. No. Basically, it was white-on-white violence that happened the other day, and they're trying to make it black-white. And a lot of the stuff is not black-white. A lot of it is white-on-white.
Right.
And
Boston Tea Party stuff.
We can't get them to not hate us, God forbid, or get along with us, and we surely can't make them love one another. So what we have to do is, like, as I said, I've been saying this over your program, stay your black asses at home. Stay out of it. It has nothing to do with us. If white folks cared that much about black lives, end credit redlining. Get rid of the credit rules where a black house is appraised at 1/3 the value of a white home. Do you realize that if they just set the credit right in this country, we put trillions of dollars in black people's pockets? If you have a $600,000 home, and you're black, it's actually worth $900,000 if you're white. Imagine getting $300,000 worth of equity with the stroke of a pen from somebody like, say, Donald Trump. Wow. Show me some love like that. Show me some love that, you bought a car, you live in what neighborhood? Well, we have you at 22%. We're going to drop it down to 9.5%. That way you can catch up on your payments. You get where? Yeah. Show me something like that. Don't march, please. Don't throw any Molotov cocktails, please. That's not even a black person's name. Molotov. People call him Molly. Man, I got Molly, but not Molotov. That's too many syllables. It's not even black. Molly. And I hear people say Molotov. Man, I got a Molotov. I mean, they don't even because the brothers done it in Molotov. Instead of Molotov, because it's too many syllables for them to remember Molotov.
Oh my God!
They're saying, man, these brothers do Molotov, man. Molotov, man. I had a little Molotov to do it, man. This thing blew up, burnt the house down. I didn't know it was anything, and I thought it was this. So, right? So, man, so it's not our protest. It's not really our fight anymore.
But Black Lives Matters, Doctor. It's Black Lives Matter.
You mean Black Jive? Black Jive. What can we say? Black Jive madness instead of Black Lives Matter. And I get like the dude walk away from the police. First and foremost, why did you turn your back on those fuckers with the gun? I mean,
all the feminine energy in the air.
You think they wouldn't shoot you in the back like the shit's bulletproof? And your kids in the car, you could have gotten their asses shot. I'm I'm not justifying what they did to Mr. What's his name, Baker or whatever.
Just say victim 499. You know that victim.
Yeah, well, the Kenosha dude, the Kenosha dude. Okay. Oh, God. And it's always some domestic shit. I would just say I blame a whole lot of brothers. Y'all get these dumbass whores for girlfriends that's stupid. Maybe the sex is good, but the woman's a fucking crackpot.
Mm.
And you like the crack in the crackpot. Okay. Well, you paid for it. And a lot of folks are getting shot because they've been locked up together. Bitch, I knew I hated you. But your pussy so good. That's the reason I didn't need. Well, you ain't gonna get no more pussy because I'm tired of fucking you since the thing started. I hate COVID. COVID means getting fucked 4 times a week. And everybody knows I'm the one to get stuck once a month. Yeah, no, bitch, don't you touch my titty. I'll call the police. I'll call the cops. Shit, I'll get you right. And these brothers pick these kind of women. They're usually sort of morbidly overweight with the nasty attitude, with a lot of pride, and the amp about of black self-hatred. They love all the black lesbian, pork chop, feminist lesbians out here, and they hate all the black men. The dude has like 5. Man, it took about the 5th kid before I realized she hated me. I didn't know, but you know, I wonder why my kids always called me nigga instead of daddy. You know, so the mother speaks to the kids to call their father nigger instead of dad. And the dude is still with her ass. And what she always says is, I know you like white bitches, so that's why you like white bitches. You like white bitches. And I'm thinking, I would too if I was with your ass. Shoot. Man, give me an ice queen. At least they know when to shut up. Damn. Lord Jesus. God. So, people lose their mind being locked up together, and woman's breath so bad you wear a mask and shit. I don't have COVID, but you got halitosis, baby. Well, you didn't wear a mask before, so that's because we used to do doggy style. But the shit that you smelled at the steak is your cum. I just said my cum is the bad food you cooked. No, motherfucker, get on the bed. Pull out. They just talk to me like, I just can't take that. I don't want you no more. All right. And then before you know it, they call the police like the relationship counselors.
Oh, stop.
I'm telling you, I'm serious. It's like, I'm serious. Like, I'm gonna dial, I'm gonna use my clitoris to dial 911 with my cell phone. Oh my God. So, shit. I wish this stuff would stop, right? I wish people could sit down and talk to each other, but I'll tell you, ladies, some of y'all are so biased, the man is always wrong. Even when a woman has a smoky pistol and the dude's bleeding out on the sidewalk, he shouldn't have put his head in front of the barrel of the gun. That's right. It's like this some conspiracy all this stuff. Just disagree with the black man at all costs. And the woman's always right. Even if she hates, I hate the bitch, but I think he did what she said, even though she's a lie. Did you hear what you just said? Don't you try to hold me accountable. Don't you do no patriarchal shit up in here. Women stand for justice and truth. And so you mean like all the Karens? That's different. She's white. I tell the little feminists that you screw behind my back is white. And I said, that's because so many of these men out here down low. So you're gonna be down low because he's down low. That's right. That's right. That's equality. So I'm just telling you, a lot of black folks have mental issues. A lot of sisters out here use law enforcement as a means to kill or hurt black men to get back at them. This has been going on for over 150 years. You'll get more shootings like that. But as for the white on white killing and white on white. There's a lot more of it than what we talk about. And the day is coming very soon where you're going to see more and more white folks shooting at each other. Like if Trump wins, there's going to be a lot of fighting. That doesn't mean I want Trump to win because I hate Biden's racist ass. Did you see the little Nazi Richard Spencer endorse Biden? For all you coons out there, all you goddamn coons that want Biden.
I got a picture for him up there. Picture of Richard Spencer. This is the guy that endorsed Biden. And, you know, they're both socialists, so. You still there, Doctor? Odd. I'm sure the doctor will be back. But I loved what he said about some of these problems not being our problem. We need to keep our noses out of it. We have an image that we have to repair.
You know, the one with the big fat mouth. She looks like Matt, but
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and you know what? His son has better pocketbooks than she has. He can help her do some shopping, you know. But anyway, what time is it, bro?
It is 8:30ish, 8:45. No, 7:45.
I'm gonna have to leave you, but we do need to talk about the convention.
Yes.
And it was really cool watching all of this, looking at it, and what can I say to you, brother, about I just go back to Richard Spencer. You got the biggest white Nazi in America endorsing Joe Biden, and you don't hear stupid ass Simone Sanders or Cedric Richmond from Louisiana. You don't hear anybody denouncing him for his anti-Semitism and black racism.
No, you won't. Jim Crow Joe, you won't.
You know why? Because Biden, this is what the Democrats want. They want to get the racist white voters that they're blaming Trump for having. They want the same people. They're mad that Trump has more. Just like the woman, you know, who's flat-chested, mad at the one with the big titties.
Right.
She ain't mad at her titties a bit. She's mad at her titties are flat. Okay. And so, you know, the flat-chested broad said, you know, oh, your boob is longer than the other one. So, at least I have one. And and tell when your boyfriend come over and suck on another one, they'll be the same size. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Elvis left the stadium, y'all.
What?
He said, thank you very much. Like Elvis left the stadium.
Oh my God. And I'm looking at this Larry Lightfoot, a little hobbit. She don't want to be Lori, a little hobbit. In fact, and her female husband that looks like a retired basketball player on crystal meth. Now that the NBA is playing, that's kind of cool. Nobody's watching y'all lame asses anyway. These black athletes, y'all fucked up. For 40 years, y'all got richer and richer and richer, didn't say shit about the rest of us. Now we're supposed to take y'all asses seriously. I mean, I hope they shut all the leagues down. Those niggas need to be unemployed too. We'll see how many of them little holes that, you know, basically stole their condoms back when they were students. Shit, I want to be a pro basketball wife. Give me that condom. Give me his trash can. You didn't know that the girls did that? Yes, they did. Holes. Y'all don't lie, holes. They would take the niggas' condoms and stick it up in themselves, right? When they were in college to get impregnated by the basketball players. I hope he's a starter. Yeah, he started my Browns. He was starting the NBA. Right?
Yes. They used them for checks.
They got those ladies. Those ladies would get those guys condoms out the toilet stool and everything else to stick it in themselves so they could get pregnant.
Yeah.
You sure they did?
Yes. I know.
Yeah, you know it. And then said the guys, you need to be responsible. This is your child. I loved it. I loved you. I liked it when we was together.
You stop. Like it. Oh,
yeah. And you used to bring like George Floyd, like the little video he made. You could come be the landlord here like you used to. And I got bloody sheets in my freezer to prove it was here in my house. And she probably got it for a friend for $5. That was the best investment I made. She didn't know I could use it.
the best investment ever. Oh
So,
God.
I mean, there's a whole whore-ass mafia around entrapping these dudes. And, you know, the brothers, you know, oh, the pussy, duh. I can't play basketball. I love the pussy. Where the whole at? I mean, everybody, even Dolly Parton, everybody been trying to screw these dudes, hoping that they make it in the pros. And so, I kind of like it. Remember, I told you once the basketball shut down,
And it is.
Punish all the dumb fuck black men that worship sports while their kids die, while their communities die. Selfish, juvenile niggas. I mean, all they want to do is drink beer and watch people in shape play sports and think that that's life, man. Man, I can't wait to get off work so I can catch the second half of the game. Man, I can't wait until March Madness. I'm serious. Man, you know, he's a starter now. You know, he's got his own advertisements, man. The brother's got a line of shoes, a line of condoms. He's even got cookies that look like a big dick that all white girls like to eat out west. Now he's gonna go all the way, man. He's gonna be an MVP. And you have these guys talk about these people's careers like they're gonna get a penny or something out of it. Come on, black men, y'all get stupid. Y'all are sorry, stupid ass bitches sit in the barbershop, talk about everything except the survival of our goddamn race. Man, you know, he made $100 million last year. Whatever white heifer, she gonna get half of it. But you know, he'll still be okay, man. I hear he wears size 17.5, man. But you know what? They put gold fiber in his shoes. They helped him jump, man. Man, you're serious, yeah. I was watching all his stats. He's got so many blocks, defense. They know everything about these stupid-ass people in pro sports. And they don't know the fucking commissioner that collects the garbage in the neighborhood. They never go to fucking PTAs. They're missing for every fucking thing except for sports, dope, and having a good time. Sorry ass. And I'm not talking about, these are niggas with jobs, man. Even in church, little weak ass preacher, you know, we started service at 7:30 so we could get out at 9:30 so y'all could watch the game on Super Bowl Sunday. I think, I'm serious, the preacher don't even have on a robe, he have on a jersey for the team that always loses. I mean, if he actually thought Jesus was real, he'd quit because he always had to bet his money. Our people completely consumed either with these stupid ass jocks or these dumb fuck celebrities who can't die fast enough. And Cardi bitch. And who else? I mean, John Legend. What's he legendary for? For me, he's legendary for not impressing my ass.
Legendarily unforgettable.
Yeah, so legendary. I'm not impressed. You can't compare him to Stevie Wonder. I'm serious. Stevie Wonder's blind.
Exactly.
I mean, all these sorry ass people that we've been told are great. Alicia Keys, who basically, damn, bitch, you can play.
But you're stepping on people's sacred cows, doctor. Oh, he didn't. No, he didn't. You know,
I did say something about the bitch snorting cocaine at Whitney's funeral. Did you see her with the tissue and she snorting that shit? I was like, damn. Remember that when she had the little tissue on the side of the piano? Yes, she did. Go back and look at the funeral. Remember the big ass choir? All the people were fat. It looked like people were windsurfing and shit because they were all had white on. They were so big they could have been a sail for like a little surfboard. They were so big. And R. Kelly was up there singing I looked to you, and I changed the words to I pissed on you. I pissed on you. I pissed on you. And when the piss is dry, I told the whole I lied, I pissed on you, right? And I was just changing the word to it because it's like, and they were all acting like they got the Holy Ghost. There's nothing holy about those things, especially Jesse Jackson, who's sick as a dog right now.
Yeah.
You know the thing? I may not go to heaven, but I am somebody, right? You are somebody.
I may not go. I'm somebody. Oh no. Oh, that was hard.
My bastards may be yellow, brown, and white. They are precious in God's sight. I may not pay child support, but I am somebody. When I was with Martin Luther King, he would say to us, we had to work to get full employment to combat discrimination. Sometimes I would get erect and would have to run behind the stage to screw one of the sisters in church between speeches of Dr. King. But I remember him saying to us, freedom would come with the struggle. This is why I'm a semen maker, not a baby taker. You know, I'm sorry, let me stop. I heard Jesse sick. Man, can you imagine C.T. Vivian, Jesse, and Tom Lewis going on the well, maybe not all of them, because you know John Lewis is in that big glory hole in the sky.
Anal plugs instead of a harp and wings.
Can you imagine John Lewis? The demon do it too hard down here. I wish I was back in the land of living. Okay.
But see, this is what I'm saying. The people...
I don't want to thank the demon for their service. The way they beat me. I would try to run, they would beat me. Just like I was in Alabama with Dr. King marching. And they would thrust so hard on me. They thrust harder and harder. But we would stand up. Okay, anyway, let me stop.
Look, this is done in comedy and satire for legal reasons. You know, those who love the people who are discussed or whatever. You know,
that's their problem. We don't have to love them. Look, let me tell you something. In a couple of days, I'll be able to share something with you. I can't tell you right now. But I have it on very high account. When you look at all the procurement jobs and things that used to be for black men across the country and contracting, and now they're all white women. You know who did that? John Lewis's bitch ass. So a lot of you niggas out here broke crying over this rainbow trick, midget, pygmy, sellout, masochist.
Yeah.
A lot of you sisters, your husband don't have anything because of John Lewis. So, you know, wake the hell up. And by the way, if making coons angry, if I could get like a decent income pissing off coons, I could do the rest of my life. Coons need to be miserable. Coons need to feel made fun of. Same way to go around tearing down white people's statues. We need to tear down coons' icons and statues. Tear this shit down. The way y'all betray us, the way y'all bullet Negro stab us in the back. Y'all need to suffer too, like the rest of us.
But that's the whole name of the
what
game,
I'm doing,
doctor.
if what I'm doing is offensive, or if it hurts boule or sellout type black people, wonderful. That'll make my day to find out some boule person, had a meltdown. I hate you. Good.
How dare you talk about Brother Lewis like that? Brother, there's so much community.
No, we need to be unified. We need to. The trans is the black movement. That's what I'm talking about, man. A lot of us wore dresses. Didn't you go to Halloween party? That's just not the kind that your ass goes to. No. Oh man, you're so uptight, man. What you need to do is loosen up. Whenever they say loosen up, they talk about hitting you in the booty. No, thank you. I'll just remain tight. I'm so, man, you need to open up your mind. They really mean open up your behind. Pull the piece apart, man. Why are you fighting so much? Like this? But you don't see how happy people are doing this stuff. Look, we have to fight these boule trader coons, make them miserable, talk about them. It is the beginning. Yes, I'm throwing seeds of disrespect against the boule. And eventually someone's going to have a boule and a coon experience and go say, you know what? I thought that dude Short was just an asshole. Well, maybe he's an asshole. But he's telling the truth that they really are fucked up like this. I don't like them. Man, I just, a part of me just want to, pop one of them in the face just for the rest of us. I'm not encouraging people to pop folks in the face, but it will probably happen. They don't have nothing to do with me. I wouldn't have told anyone to do that. I never preach or teach violence, but I do know violence does occur, especially when people find out they've been betrayed and mistreated. And I've met people, and they said, "Yeah, we like you, but you won't talk, you won't tell people to do stuff." I says, "No, I'm not trying to encourage people to get into trouble to catch a case." Says, "Well, man, when I learn this stuff, I can't not punch a nigga in the face when I know that." So there are people out here who are going to want to be avengers, like the little white dude in Kenosha.
Right.
So all the boule people, all the little coon people, all the sellout people, it's not going to be someone like me who talks about you and attacks you and tells you about yourself. It's the ones who just feel like, you know what, an example has to be set. Punch in the face, beat down. I beat you because you were coon, and I'm going to get some other people like you. By the way, that used to happen in the 60s. That's why we had a movement. People that were coons and sellouts, and even in the 30s, got punished. And people just, revolutionary justice, we have to take this person to the back room and beat the shit out of them.
Damn.
Oh, well, wait a minute. I don't have to go far. I can just say to you, if you're in New York, and you've heard of Con Edison, a consolidated Edison, the lights and the power. The reason the black people got the jobs is they dared anyone to have their lights on when they were having light strikes. And if you turn your light on when the people told it to turn on, they would throw bricks through your window. If it hit you in the head, they didn't care. We need to have jobs. We need to be able to survive. Your individual sellout, coonish, LGBTQ bullshit isn't more important than the rest of us. We'll come and get you since we can't get the people at Con Edison. That's when black people had a movement, when you punished individuals that willfully betrayed the collective. We don't do that anymore, but I'm trying to bring that stuff back by putting the idea out there. And eventually there's going to be a black commissioner or black mayor or black college president, someone that's going to betray. And folk going to come after them, and it's going to catch on, and they're going to start punishing coons. And people start coming and say, "I'm not a coon." And I gave money to the NACP. Well, no, I gave money to the Malcolm X students. I mean, they're going to change it. I didn't say NACP. Well, we're not over the right. We have to make people understand you do not betray your own people. Nobody likes that. No one. No one. Even now, did you notice Candace Owens didn't get to speak at the Republican National Convention?
I wonder why.
Well, because Candace said that shit about Floyd George. And right now, these people recognize that a lot of these little black Republican types, they over-coon. They coon so hard and they're so against black people. It's hurting the Republicans trying to reach out.
Mm.
And they've realized, my God, we need people who haven't made talking down about black people a cottage industry. Are you understanding me?
Yes. Oh my
Some
God.
people, every time you see them, it's always downing. Everyone black. All black people aren't bad. In fact, most black people are okay.
For real.
Need some help, right? These people, this everything black is bad. When the man got shot in the back, Candace Holmes would probably say, well, he should have turned on an angle. Then he wouldn't have been struck in his spinal cord. He would have been hitting his vital organ. I mean, there's some way to always make black people wrong. And that's good for the white people that fund them, but it's no good for talking to black people. So they didn't have Candace Owens. And of course they had, what's that thing? They had the Edsel Walker instead of Herschel. He's like the car that nobody wanted to buy. Edsel Walker. Nobody respects him. These kinds of people are not useful. They can't get any votes. So it's like Diamond and Silk. Basically, you have a tag team female Mike and Ike cross with Amos and Andy, except we call it Amos and Andy.
Oh my God.
And so they didn't have them speaking. And, they are kind of like, they're okay, but they got kicked off of Fox News so fast. I mean,
didn't they though?
Yeah, but you know what? They still sell pancakes. So all they have to do is talk to somebody. People would buy that shit, and can you see one of them moving their fingers and all? That's selling pancakes. And they do good.
Selling pancakes.
And I'm not saying that they're wrong about a lot of their political stuff, but the presentation
is wrong.
And
the presentation is too sassy.
The presentation was that they are ghetto fabulous
conservative
black Jezebel types, yes, right. And neither one of them has a man, and they're slightly overweight. Now, if they were good looking, the white woman wouldn't like them. White women don't like the black women to look too good.
Well, we know why.
So they don't want them to be bootylicious. They want them to be morbid, obese-licious.
So even if
I got to run this my Bible study time. I'll treat you white, bro.
All right, bro. Peace and power. Later. Wow, yeah. What a broadcast. What a broadcast tonight. I'd like to go on the record and thank the Most High for allowing my two guests. Come on. And just to be able to do the broadcast in general. Hopefully you all laughed a little, found a couple of interesting tidbits. But as always, the broadcast must come to an end. And this will conclude TPIM SR Live. So live your life with integrity, without hate, envy, or greed. And as always, brothers and sisters, please, 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 let's try to be kinder to each other. Peace and power, unity and victory, dignity and respect, liberation. I'm out.